Hey, wait a minute. Don't hit me with that thing. Whoa, I quit. Don't hit me. Jeez. I have a handcuff on. You don't want to hit me.
Hi, Spots and Cheap Pops. You're on the air.
Cody AJ match. Not necessarily my cup of tea, man.
They worked their asses off. AJ took this ridiculous bump when he got hit in the head with a chair. He bounced like 3 times through a table. So AJ can still do it. This was not a very good I Quit match. This was one of the weakest I Quit matches I've ever seen. I know a lot of people loved it and all that. AJ didn't even look like he was beaten at the end. He's like, whoa, okay, calm down, buddy. Oh, I quit. Yeah. Come on, man.
And it reminded me of the Edge Christian match,
which was done great. No one saw it, but
yeah. But it's like, why would they do something so similar? As like, what I was thinking when I watched it, and also, really, do I have to see Cody's mom involved in this too?
Mama Rhodes needs to be put in her place. Mama Rhodes. Yeah. No, I thought it was terrible. I just thought the whole build at the end. I thought AJ looked like a bitch for quitting because he was afraid of getting hit with a spot that happens in every DQ match, no DQ match, and then some. I mean, the steel chairs has never been. Oh my God, the steel chairs! It's like a steel. It's like it's a. To me, I just thought it was a silly thing, particularly after you saw Adam Copeland literally take a spiked bat to Christian's ball sack and then kick him repeatedly over and over, as we saw in our cold open, and repeatedly. And then he was going to do it one more time and then he finally quit. And then Christian finally quit. Like Christian and Adam Copeland showed you what an I Quit match should be. And then AJ and Cody do a very similar finish, as you alluded to, with utilizing the handcuffs. No. And the thing is, if the finish was good, it would have been a fine match. It's okay. But the finish was copied, and it wasn't done nearly as well. It was like, it's like buying it on Etsy, or buying it on Wish. And so Cody can't have too many of these kind of matches, especially when you're with AJ Styles. It was very disappointing. And I know it's weird because you don't get a lot of criticism with WWE because it's been so good lately, but that was bad. And then, Vladi, you go to the tag match, and Jade Cargill looked as bad as she has looked, I think, maybe in her entire career. And we saw most of her matches. I didn't see any dark matches that she was on. But she was terrible. Spot. And once she blew her spot, with those ropes were tricky all night long. So, like accidents happen. These are athletes. It's live. I get it. But she did not recover. She taps out. She just looked awkward the rest of the night. Jade Cargill was nothing but exposed. And look, dominant woman, but were you able to see anything? Again, Jade Cargill really showing her stripes. And I know she's only had 70 professional matches, but she's been in the business long enough where there's some things that she really struggles with stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if she's prepared to do like a 3-team, triple threat tag team match. There's a lot of stuff going on there. And it seems like she's very rehearsed. And I don't know if she can go at that pace, honestly. And I'm not making excuses for her. I'm just saying she's green. And I've seen bad stuff in AEW. I've seen mediocre stuff from her a little bit in WWE. I've also seen her look pretty strong when presented right. So I don't know, and again, leading into this, truth be told, when we discussed it, I'm like talking about her and Bianca being like the next Road Warriors. Yeah. And here they're like jobbing out the next match. I'm like, all right, I guess I know shit.
That was a very unceremonious finish to probably what could have been a great all-time tag team.
Yeah.
I thought it was terrible, to be honest with you. I really... Not terrible. I mean, again, because you had Piper Niven had to lose, and you were doing the thing with Drew McYntire. Obviously, that's a big part of it, and that's fine. Sammy and Gable were easily the best match of the night, and I don't think it's even close. And the story continues to grow there, and it's even gotten more on Monday night, and Chad Gable's now dead with a bullet in his brain, so that's what happened there. Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. And then you had the Bayley-Piper match, which was not the best women's match they'll ever have by any stretch. It looked a little sloppy at times. And that comes from John, my buddy John Luxa, who I went to see AEW Collision last night, me and like 17 other people. We're going to get into that later when we talk about AEW in the show. But it was okay, though. Bayley, easy win. We knew that one was going to happen. And then it happened. my guy, my buddy, who I picked against Vladi Dottie. The curse of Drew McIntyre continues to haunt Vladi Dottie as CM Punk, in a beautifully shot way, comes down, does the false finish as the referee, does the deuce. I mean, it was a beautifully done thing. It pissed me off because I wanted Drew to win, and I think CM Punk is a dick. I'm on CM Punk's side. And then just the way Punk did it when he was getting out choked, and then he just hits him with a low blow. Very heelish. And I'll tell you what, it was shocking. I was surprised Punk got there. However, I guess there were reports he was in Glasgow. So once those reports came, I'm glad I didn't see those reports because I was genuinely surprised when I saw it. Because if I saw those reports, I would have known. But what are your thoughts on, again, this McIntyre Punk thing? We thought Punk and MJF was good. This might be going well beyond that before we're all said and done. They haven't even had a match yet. Yeah,
and the thing is, I called you crazy for picking Damian Priest because I'm like, there's no way Triple H is going to book against him in Glasgow. You know, him re-signing, and again, you know, like you made some valid points about, you know, being too soon for Damian and all this, but in the same breath, I'm like, he's the guy. Like, there's no doubt about it. And it's like, all right, now this is what Punk could be chasing. And for them to go this route and really just literally kick him between the legs in front of the home crowd and just acting like a referee, which is sort of a new nuance here where we haven't seen something like that. And just the way they filmed it was a great idea. Because you didn't know who the hell that was at first. And then all of a sudden, you know, then you're as shocked as Drew, which is, again, this is almost cinematic. You know, it's been used quite a bit. And that's something, and honestly, that's something you wouldn't have caught on AEW. Like, that would have been like a telltale, like the way they would go and have their directors handle the shows. So that was staged beautifully. And just like, I was like, holy shit. I mean, this is putting that feud over the top, nuclear heat with the hometown crowd in terms of Punk being there. And honestly, it's just like, I almost have some sort of pity for McIntyre at this point. Like, he's you know, sort of like the anti-hero in between, if you will. And for some reason, man, he can't get over this hurdle and has been totally outwitted by Punk left and right since WrestleMania.
While Punk is on the disabled list.
Yes.
Like, Punk is, I mean, the fact that Punk has contributed this much to the show, to his credit, because we know he can't wrestle anymore, but damn, he can cut a promo and ruin some matches for my boy DM Hunk. I'm kidding. I tell you, I thought it was shot beautifully, because I even said I didn't think there was any way Punk would go all the way to Glasgow for it. And Triple H referenced that. It's a long way to go to be an angry man. Triple H also made a joke. Did you catch that? The joke about his blood sugar?
No, I didn't catch that.
Oh, he's always eating pastries or donuts every time he has some kind of trouble. Maybe it's something with blood sugar. So Triple H throwing a little reference to the original Brawl Out. And again, this is headed to nuclear stuff. The following night, we know Drew McIntyre couldn't even get the words out. He wound up just walking out, doing a Batista and quitting. Obviously, he's not really quitting. And we're going to get that at SummerSlam. But obviously, I think we're actually recording this during SmackDown, and we both wanted to watch the Open. Apparently, something big happened. Vladi Dottie knows. I told him, no, I don't want to see it. I want to see it and experience it as a fan. But something big happened on SmackDown's Open. I'm assuming something with Mr. Punk. Now, Drew's gonna be gone. Maybe take care of his wife for a little bit. Maybe Drew came back tonight and already jumped on Punk. Who knows? But it's gonna be pretty interesting. I'm just excited because Drew McIntyre has totally upped his game on the promo game. He has gone at the very least toe to toe with CM Punk, which we haven't seen anybody really do, with the exception of maybe MJF.
Yeah,
you know, Cena and Triple H held their own back in the day too. But CM Punk was just on another level back then. Those 2 or 3 years. So, and McIntyre has all the physical tools. He's a big man that can work his ass off. I almost, a part of me wants them to be the world championship match and close night 1 next year. I really would. Mm-hmm. And I'm a guy who doesn't want CM Punk. At the time, I've yelled, I don't want him to get his main event, which I do want him to get his main event, but I want him to earn it, which I've said. Mm-hmm. So it looks like he's going to get the opportunity, and he has worked his ass off. He's evoking emotion and entertaining the shit out of people. And you're really feeling this Drew McIntyre CM Punk feud, and it continues to get better. And again, they haven't had a match yet. Did you catch Punk clowning that one British writer about the guy suggested to Punk that McIntyre and his first match should be a Hell in a Cell, which, and you just saw it in his face. He's like, you could tell Punk just wanted to jump across the table and snap on him, but he ate his pastry. He's like, that's why I'm glad you don't run a wrestling company. He's like, come on, man. Hell in a Cell first match. Take that fantasy booking shit somewhere else. So Punk was very entertaining in his scrum, and he said he's going to make sure Drew McIntyre never gets that championship. So Vladi Dottie, I've said it a couple times since then. I think we are headed to a double turn because, yes, Drew McIntyre is now a sympathetic character, just like you said. Yeah. But that was such a great surprise, even though it was a kick in the balls to the hometown crowd. Great surprise, and we're going to get a great payoff as this continues to go on. And Drew will get his big win in Scotland again. I could probably think of that.
Man, I hope so. I don't know if I'm ever picking him.
The AJ Cody match was a disaster. That finish, absolute disaster. And considering the people that were involved, come on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been very praiseworthy of Triple H and WWE in recent months, and we're just being fair about this. This one was a little bit of a drop in terms of the level of performance in some ways. And just the execution wasn't necessarily that great. So, it's the good with the bad. We'll still be watching next week. It's all good. But, I mean, it's just one of those things where I guess you can't hit a home run every time. And this one seemed more like a double.
We didn't really get a chance to see where he was going with this character.